So we're going to have a look at the subject profile section in form matrix. So subject profile across here, and now we want to make sure we get the right subject and classes. So the selection of the subject is on the right hand side, so I'm currently on art. Let's say I want history. Click on history. Okay, so these are the history results, but I've got a geography filter over here for the selection of groups. So I'll come to that in a moment. We'll just stay on what this is showing me. So these are all the students that have done history, and each individual student is plotted against the green line. And the green line is the average score of each student. Now if we put all of our students' average scores across the full range from A star across to U, and then a U over here. In fact, the average grade is read on the vertical scales. So the average grade of Mohim, for example, is E. The green line here is pointing to an E. Mohim, in fact, if we go up to the green line, has an average between D and C. When we line across this way, it's saying that he's got an E in history. So we'll just repeat that. Mohim has got an E in history. We go up vertically, and where we touch the line there is the Mohim's average for all his subjects, including geography. So he's not done so well in geography as his other subjects. And this is a residual analysis graph. Students under the line have done less well than their average, and students above the line have done better than their average. If we right-click on Mohim, alright, so we right-click again, then we pull up Mohim, I get a nice photograph of him, and we click on the magnifying glass, and we get some information about Mohim. So in history, Mohim has got an E. If we just go, his average grade was between D and C. So anything that's C or above is highlighted in green, and anything that is in red is where he is below. So anything that's below his average is highlighted in red, and we can see history is in bold because this is the subject we're currently looking at. Okay, now that is the department as a whole. And if we look across here, we've got 58 entries. The average residual, that's when the pluses and the minuses, if you like, are all taken into account, comes out as slightly positive. So we've got slightly more dots above the line than below, and I think you can just about see that. We've got the average point score for the group, and we've got the A star to C of that group at 93%. Now, if we come across here, we can get more information. So we click on history, because that's the subject that we're looking at, and say OK. And we can see we've got 3 history groups. Now, if I click on the second group, then we can see that all the students are still there, but the faint ones are children that are not in the group. If I want, in fact, to hide them, I can come across here and click that, and now I've isolated this particular class of Mr. McGee. So Mr. McGee's group have got a residual of minus 0.7. We can see it there, and we can see it over here as well. We've got 14 in his group. The variation, that's how much we vary from the green line, averages out at 0.37. Okay, so that's quite. So students are performing quite close to their average, and the average point score for this particular group is slightly below the average for all the history students. The pass rate in this group is 86%. The pass rate overall was 93%. And once again, if we want to get any information about the students, we do a right click and open up the magnifying glass. So that is pretty much everything. We've got an explain up here. If you want a bit more information about what the dot and the green line mean, so we'll explain for you there. So this is full matrix subject profile.